Welcome everybody to the first ever Garden FC podcast and the first video on our new channel. We've got a brand new channel. On here you'll find extra content podcasts. We're looking to do weekly, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously it depends on how the season goes. Current state of play is the season is or has been postponed until we don't know, Daily, do we?
Mid-Jan at the earliest, I'd imagine, mate.
Do you reckon mid-January? We find out on the 30th, possibly some more news then.
County suspended till the 9th, isn't it? And I can't see them bringing ours forward anywhere past the mid-January. Hopefully earlier, but who knows?
It is a little bit frustrating with the first lockdown doing us a favour in November. Well, technically the second lockdown doing us a favour in November and everyone getting back fit. And then this one, we have our team fit and no one can play.
Grim. Killer, absolute killer. Yeah, well, I think since we've come back from this lockdown, we haven't lost a game.
Actually, speaking of that, we are now 5 games unbeaten, aren't we?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a killer for us. Managed to regroup everyone. I
was going to say, Mike, what's it been as the leader of the pack? 11 Lions out there. What's it been like for you going from the start of the season, where let's face it, we weren't great, losing a lot of matches compared to now. Did you think at the beginning of the season, what have I got myself into again?
It was an odd one because when we all rocked up pre-season back in the end of the original lockdown, June, July, weather was gorgeous. Yeah. We all trained with our tops off, sunny towns out there, and we looked good. Got to be said that a lot of the boys were struggling on the weight side and fitness side, but no, managed to get that all shredded, all looking like Baywatch. We did quite really well first few games of the season, pre-season.
I was going to say pre-season went really well, didn't it?
Yeah. Then every game it just felt like we were losing 2 or 3 lads through injuries, and they weren't just little injuries. We lost yourself. We lost players like Bonesy, 2 big injuries. Which were
I swear as well, in the space of like 1 week, we had 2 broken legs in the team or something, wasn't it? It was like Bonesy and Ben. Did Ben break his leg?
Ben did on his foot,
Yeah, it was the Preston Dynamo's game where we lost 4 people in 20 minutes, all with like 6-week-long injuries.
Yeah, and it's when you've worked so hard to get a group that was so close together, because we are just all friends. Yeah, you can't just go grab any Tom, Dick and Harry. So we were trying to keep... And so it was difficult, but me and Daly knew that everything went to plan pre-season wise in terms of fixtures, what we said was going to happen. We were quite happy. We had a really good performance at Peacehaven with a side that were missing a lot of players for injury. Like I said, we lost Bonesy in that one, 2 minutes into a broken foot. I think we lost a couple of other lads in that game as well. And then start of the season, I think the cracks began to show that in the Patron game, really, where we went 3-0 down. It was a great recovery. But a lot of the boys were struggling, and then it wasn't a best start to the season, but where to be fair, it's probably fair to say with it, Daily, where we are now, it's probably exceeded expectations where we thought we was going to be after that Woodindean game, first game of the season, when we all just like, what is happening here? But County Cup semi-final to come up, unbeaten in the last 5. We've sort of stopped shipping so many goals. So I
mean, for me personally, sitting on the sideline, I was not used to it, so I can't imagine the stress for you guys being on the sideline every game as management and Bayo as cameraman. We hear your stress a lot during the game, but for me, it was just like every time I'd rock up on a Sunday, it was like, oh, we're 1-0 down, here we go again. It was so just like saddening. I'd come home every Sunday and just be like, upset. But before we take it back to the beginning of Garden, how it all started, I will point out, yes, Mike is on a Samsung, and that is why it looks like he's glitching. We can hear him okay, but we're over Discord obviously because of Tier 4 lockdown and that. So there you go. Hopefully you can hear us okay. But yeah, let's take it back to the beginning. Bayo. Cameraman Bayo coming in. What was it like when you got recruited?
I was buzzing, to be fair, because I would be at every game anyway. So now I just do it through a lens.
And you haven't really had much experience on filming anything, were you? Like you were pretty much thrown in at the deep end.
No, I've literally maybe made a few funny videos in my time, and that's it, mate. So I was new to the equipment and to the job role.
And pretty early on, I left you on your own, didn't I? Because do you remember the who did we play in the rain in the Brighton?
Yeah,
Heathfield and Horham.
Heathfield and Horham, and that was one of the games we lost the footage to.
Oh yeah,
which happened twice in pre-season.
Yeah,
which was gutting. What was it like on your own in the rain and then to lose the footage?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, really, really great. Yeah, 2 hours in the rain. Soaked through to the, all the way through.
And meanwhile, I was in Zante. But I will say, mate, you've come a long way since the beginning. Your filming is really, really good, especially on the lens.
Cheers, mate. It's getting there.
The zoom goes far.
It's getting there. I still watch some of the footage and think like that's terrible from me. Where I'm like, I know I can do better. So like, it's a journey for all of us.
But it's also hard as well because not only are you trying to film the game, you're also emotionally attached to the game.
Oh yeah, I'm Garden.
So trying to balance the two is probably quite difficult.
Garden's biggest fan. You can hear it in the microphone sometimes. And you have to tell me off quite a lot for shouting. I do apologise for that because
no. And sometimes for the recent match, sometimes it works perfectly. When Stannard scored, you do the perfect cheer.
Yeah,
and I managed to cut it instantly.
God. Yeah, I'm very emotionally invested in the.
But let's take it back to the beginning, Mike.
Oh no!
I text you over lockdown. Probably June. Maybe May.
I think it was about May. Must have been about
May. Basically, how it came about was me, Stannard, and Matt were playing on Xbox, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going training with Garden." I was like, "What? What do you mean? What? Why are you? What? You playing football without me? What's going on here? Like, what? Are you playing Sunday League?" And they were like, "Oh, just text Mike. I was like, "No, I'm too scared. Then I text you. Obviously, this was the first time Garden had been about since 2016.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, about 2016.
And what did you achieve in 2016, mate? How did that all start about?
So originally it started with basically the core of the squad it was now. Would have been 2015-16. There was two different leagues. So the one we're in now, Sussex Sunday, and then we had a Lewis League, which is more local to where we are. So Seaford, New Inn, etc. And that actually started with Blunty, who still plays, and Ben Dinage, and we were out on a traditional Easter Sunday pub crawl, and they thought we should just play Sunday League together. We could all play football. Like we all play Saturdays at different teams. Let's play Sundays together. And after a few shandies, Ben Dinage came up with the name Garden FC on a trampoline.
Wait, it was Ben Dinage who came up with
Ben Dinage came up with the name. Sorry, not a trampoline, a bouncy castle in the back of a pub.
Yeah.
And then got the ball rolling. And then we formed the team. First season, came third in the league, won the cup, which was a great day. And then we moved into the Sussex Sunday League because the Lewis League folded. With Div 2, they were a bit kinder to us.
So much lower than we are currently.
Yeah. I stepped down because I had other commitments with football, but I was still playing. So Jack Rowland, who still trains with us, took over. Again, still same quarter squad, but it just didn't. It sort of fizzled out towards the end of the season. I think we got to the County Cup quarter final. Deo played in that one. Shout out to his red card there, killing us. 3-0 up, get sent off. But yeah, so then we sort of folded halfway through that season because we couldn't get the commitment. A lot of players were playing elsewhere on a Saturday or midweek, so we just decided it was best we just sort of call it quits with 3/4 of the season. Probably not the best way. Probably could have sorted the season out, but is what it is. And then we left it a couple of years. A lot of the lads have been pestering me sort of in the past 2 years to get it going again. And then this summer with lockdown, we thought, perfect opportunity, especially, if that's taught us anything, we're not guaranteed anything. So we're like, we're only going to get one shot at this again, really. Our legs aren't going to be what they are in sort of 10 years' time. Let's get it back together.
I know that.
And obviously I played with yourself, Matt, Stannard at Seaford all those years ago, all Dale as well, Paul Loaders, Barmy Army. And I'd actually wanted Matt and Stannard and Max to come and play last time when we had the team, but they didn't fancy it for whatever reason. So after a couple of weeks of persuasion, got them over, and then obviously you dropped me, slid into my DMs.
I did.
And then this is when the magic started happening. And
it blossomed from there.
Yeah, about May time, wasn't it? Must have been about May.
Yeah. And obviously, Theo, you spent the majority of the last few years over in the States. What were you doing out there? Because I will say, Theo, we were meant to go to uni together at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
You went on a ski season and left me, and then went to America.
It didn't really work, did it? We were supposed to go down to Bournemouth together at the same time. I think we were doing the same course as well. And head down there.
You didn't miss out much. Don't worry about that.
No, I head down there with Short Tate as well. Yeah, then I think I deferred it initially, went for a ski season, and then it was actually Mike that introduced me to the prospect of going out to the States. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Mike was playing in a trial game for it, and I think it was the day of the game or a couple of days before the game. Mike dropped me a message saying, they're short of a centre back. Do you want to come play? And I just had possibly the worst game of football I'd ever played for New Haven Rezzies away at Haskett, giving away 2 goals. I think I played their centre forward through from centre back for one of them, and then just completely swung at the next one. I think I might have scored an own goal as well. So anyway, I had an absolute horror show. I just need a game of football to get out of my system. Went and played, did all right. Then I said to the guys, I'm off to America now. Do your work, find me a college kind of thing. So I was like, I'm off to France now. Like, do your worst, find me a uni in America. If not, no worries. I got a phone call while I was out there from a really good guy, an Irish guy called Ender down in Southern Virginia. So I went out there for the first 2 years. Population of about 13,000 people, so a million miles away from Brighton or what we were used to.
Yeah.
Then after those 2 years, moved up to NYU in New York, finished my degree, and got to play for 4 years out there in
unbelievable
15, 16 different states for 2 different universities and get a degree. So it was good fun, mate. It was really good fun.
And then how long were you in New York?
2 years. So I did 2 years in Virginia and then 2 years up at NYU in New York. Yeah.
Obviously, you learnt a lot with your coaching out there as well. You've brought that back into Garden. Let's start from the beginning then when I joined in. Obviously, we kicked us all off, going to do YouTube. We got a plan together, us 4 on the board. We release it, and the first issue, was the badge. We had a lot of lot of comments. We had a lot of comments about the badge. I was over in Zante, just by the pool, just like absolutely losing my mind. I was like, how have I not realised this? Like, all the comments, we're going to get lawsuits. Brighton and Hove Albion, they're going to come after us. So obviously this is the badge here. I'll show it here. The seagull does look very similar to the Brighton badge. And we were getting a lot of comments saying we are going to get lawsuits. But Daly, obviously you're in this field. Would Brighton care about a Sunday League side like us?
With it, I remember you got your graphic designer to mock up a backup badge just in case as well.
We do still have a backup badge just in case, yeah.
No, but it was. We looked at the copyright stuff on Brighton's website, and it's different, and it's a symbol of the area as well. I mean, you look at the amount of like county league teams or Sunday league teams that have a seagull or a reference to a seagull in their badge. It's symbolic of sort of the Brighton area and Sussex as well. So
when we were younger, we literally played against a team called. What are they like? Seagulls. They basically played in the Brighton bit. So I think down here it's much more a collective group.
It's just like a community thing, isn't it? Really?
Brighton,
100%.
Brighton are really good in the community. To be fair, they are.
Yeah, they
are a really good community. There's only one club in Sussex, one Premier League club in Sussex. So, yeah.
Exactly. So, obviously, we kick off. Pre-season happens, we get a few injuries. It starts off with an overwhelming support and confidence with the club, didn't it? I think it's fair to say it went down very, very well. And then the season starts, and it all goes to shit. We're losing games. We're just constantly going behind. The comments are pretty brutal. How was that for you guys in the first couple of months? Obviously, being thrown into this YouTube stuff and having to deal with all of those negative. Well, I say all of it. There was some positive, don't get me wrong, but overall majority of the comments were pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was hard because the one thing is we're all mates, and we've all had different experiences at different levels of football. So for us guys that have played before, it's part of parcel. For the other lads that are just there to rock up and enjoy it as Sunday League, it's hard for them to get a mouthful of abuse, but. I don't know if you remember. We played in the worst ever Seaford team there ever was, when we were 17, we were chucking for men. I remember Matt Acton making the back of the Sun. And he was on Sky Sports News. Jeff Stelling called him out.
Wait,
do you remember
that?
Do you remember it? We had a worse record than Aston Villa, and we got compared to
that.
We've got to try and find that footage.
Hey Mike, don't try and drag me down into this. I'm pretty sure I'd left. I'd listened by then. I was on my way to uni by that happened.
We was definitely young. We might have actually been. Yeah, because I would have been 19.
I was at uni because I'm pretty sure I was. It was either me or like Mitch Ellingham, who was one of the youngest Seaford players to play for the first team to make their debut. I was 16 in I don't know how many days. But Seaford were in the papers. That was not good.
So
anyway.
So I sort of understood what it was like, when especially people like that are calling you out and you're rocking up on a Saturday, and that's obviously a more of a senior level, so comes with slightly more pressure. But I think it was difficult for those lads who are there just to enjoy it. They felt like they were playing under pressure, all tense, whatnot. But I think between me and Daly, we'd be honest, when we were speaking after training was always good. There was a level. It was just a matter of putting that onto the field of play, really, and sort of breaking certain barriers, which I think we were quietly confident we were going to get through it once we got the players back fit and healthy, really.
It was a case of time, wasn't it? Just waiting for because we knew when we had the players back, things could improve, and they definitely have. It was just the frustration of time, and that's why I think the November lockdown really came at the perfect time for us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would just say I think one of the big changes as well, because we changed the formation a couple of times. I don't know if you remember, we started with a 4-3-3 with one sitting as that deep pivot, and then three attacking forwards with the wingers staying high and wide. And sort of Mike recognised it wasn't really working for us, particularly with the personnel we had. We switched to more of a double pivot as well, which we did for the first game against Castle, which is where we got our first point.
Against who were top of the league, I think.
They were top of the league, and they've still not lost the game. I think we're one of only two sides to take points off them, that went really, really well. I think we then lost the next game, maybe, and I remember Mike rang me, I think, while you were on a dog walk, and we talked about going to a 3 at the back just to make us harder to beat. And we also recognised that we were lacking creativity in the centre of the park. We didn't have anyone to hold the ball up really in the middle and someone then to play off. So then changing to 3-5-2 made us instantly harder to beat and gave us more down the centre of the park as well. So I think that also, with the timing of the boys coming back, contributed to sort of an uptick in form and results. And like Mike said, training had always been of a really good level. Like, we always came away from training with blinding. If we can take that into Sunday, we'll win.
Yeah.
And for a number of reasons, it just never happened. But thankfully, finally, we've started to see bits and pieces that we do in training actually happen on a Sunday, which is always nice.
Yeah, I don't think that gets enough credit. I think personally, because obviously, yes, we did get a few players back, but I think as soon as you change that formation, results instantly started coming our way, and I think you two both deserve a lot of credit for that. And I think the comments did realise it, because I know sometimes the comments were like, "Who are these bloody idiots?" or whatever, and then you managed to make this managerial decision which really impacted the team. And at Sunday League level, you probably rarely actually get to, like, that rarely happens, does it? A lot of the times you just go out and play. But for example, in recent weeks, we've been working on getting to the byline and cutting it back. And I would go as far as saying that is the first time I have ever, in Sunday League level, seen something we've worked on in training implemented into a football match.
Yeah. I think it's credit to you boys, really. Just you boys listen to us. I think that's the difference between Sunday League and then moving up to sort of step 5, steps 4 level. Is there isn't much difference in terms of what we try and implement in a training session. It's just if the boys buy in, because you'll get your stereotypical Sunday League teams that will just rock up on a Sunday hungover. We still do, but with lack of organisation. But in our division, there is a lot more to it. We're in the highest division. Players are taking this serious, and you see other teams out there like SC Dons, Rising Ballers. They take it seriously as well. This is our standard of football. So it's credit to you boys, really. We made the changes to try and get the best out of you boys, and unfortunately, it worked.
But I think it's definitely go ahead, sorry, Daly.
I was going to say, it helps, just on Mike's point, when you have boys that want to listen and learn and take on board what we say as well. Like Kill, for example, started out at wide left. Brilliant since he's transitioned into the middle, and he's constantly asking Mike, like, what can I do better? How can I improve?
Bless you.
What is the your clips of the game, etc. Yourself, Stannard, very attentive. The boys in the back three have listened to everything we've asked. Blunty out wide left as a wing back. So it definitely helps when you have boys, like Mike said, that want to learn and listen. It makes it a hell of a lot easier for us.
Absolutely. And we've got we've got a good senior core as well. We've got Tyler up top, who's played all year struggling, and back in the day when we were kids, a bit daily used to go watch New Haven play. He was banging goals for them, and he's bought into what we want, and Bussy in goal as well. So you look at and Ryan Dinage as well. Big shout out to Ryan, who's one of the older lads. He's so good to have. He's probably we can't explicitly put what he says what he does in training, but he is such a good lad to have around, honestly. And it's someone I've known for years, and he's just the funniest guy. But again, takes it serious when it needs to be serious. And he hasn't played a game sober yet.
I think better after a couple as well. Matty Acton as well, the man in Sunday League that is equally as capable up top as he is at centre back, and that's an absolute luxury to have scored on a Sunday.
Yeah, extremely versatile. But as I was saying, lads, there's so much that goes in to the club and the training and the preparation that goes unnoticed between all three of you. So I feel like that deserves a lot more recognition than it's already been shown. But Bayo, obviously you're in charge of a lot of content. You're in charge of getting the footage. Next year, come January, we're going to be getting a new addition to the production side of it, a camera called Theo. Are you looking forward to seeing how that works?
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Will it take a little bit of stress off you? Because obviously that will provide a bird's eye view of the whole pitch and automatically capture it, which will give you a bit more freedom in case anything else goes down off the pitch, which has happened before.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to that, definitely, because there's been a couple of times where I might have missed some footage.
My penalty in pre-season.
That's one of the ones I was thinking about. But I think overall, just for the content, it's going to be great. We can get some more angles, and even when we played on pitches which have got a raised sideline, it looks so much better.
The one in Brighton looks amazing, doesn't it?
Exactly. So it looks 10 times better, even raised up a couple meters. So if we can add a couple onto that with this new technology, then it's going to make it a lot better. And we can also, use that to actually maybe analyze our footage and see what's going down. We got a couple of partners coming on board, which hopefully we can look at doing a little bit more analysis. Obviously, we know Sky, we know Monday Night Football, Sky Sports News, but like Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville wants to get involved. By all means, get him down. But obviously, the height and the camera angles isn't the only thing we've had to battle across this season, Bayer. We've had a few weather issues. One being over in Kingston when. Oh yeah.
So I bought this little device which attaches an umbrella to a tripod, which sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. It sounds like it's very, it'll keep Bayo dry. But when you mix rain in with wind, it went flying.
Yeah, and you was back across the other side of the pitch, and I remember the whole thing basically went horizontal, like the whole stand and the camera, and I was filming this angle, trying to wave across the pitch for you to come and get me. We've been we've experienced a lot of different things so far this season. We're only part of the way through, but these things we're bringing in should help, hopefully.
I just want to say I felt horizontal that day as well. I think that's I'm so happy that camera was on the other side. So
obviously, obviously with me playing more and more, you're going to be more on your own. You're not going to have to be there.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Have you decided? Have you decided who's going to be your new umbrella holder?
Ryan Dinage was very good last game. He doesn't like being told to move left and right when holding it, but hopefully he's going to be more on the pitch than off it this time. So I will have someone there to help me. But again with you, I'd rather you be on the pitch than holding my umbrella. So that's
well, I don't know if you guys saw, but the goal I scored, the second goal I scored went a little bit viral on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. So hopefully a few more of those.
Was a very good goal.
Oh, thank you, mate. And it was very well captured, by the way. The zoom was perfect.
Zoom was perfect.
Absolutely unreal. Obviously, we got a lot of plans coming in 2021, a lot of things we want to do, places to go, etc. We just got to hope that the season does return. Any plans, Mike, Deo, for the future of the club in January? Like, where do you want to take the team? Do we want to change any tactics, bring in more players? Obviously, we've had GURPS, who's come in outstanding, a lot of new players. And obviously, when it comes to bringing in players, sometimes you have to say no, don't you? Because it may affect the team. How have you coped with the more interest from players outside of the club?
Yeah, I think after what we've got to offer, where we are, the area, there isn't anything like it. And obviously winning, starting winning games, people want to jump on board. So, but you're right, people have come to us. We've had to politely say no, because the core of it is we are all friends. There isn't, we're all of a similar age. We've all at one time played with each other at different clubs. So we're all not alien to each other. So we try to keep that as a policy. But GURPS has come in, Cal Ridley's come in.
What a signing.
Robin come in. We haven't seen too much of him. Craig Avens,
he's done a fantastic. He didn't originally come in as a right wing back, did he? But he's done an absolutely incredible job over on that side.
Absolutely, come in to play centre midfield, and someone I played with Radzi and Blunty, and so I knew what he was offer. But it's good to put him in the side and him show his qualities to the other lads, because they all sort of know him from outside. But in regards, I don't think there's too much we'd want to change. Obviously, I'll let Daly speak for himself, but the aim is to get to this cup final. It's not going to be easy. We've got a nice local derby against Physics. But moving forward, I mean, the club-wise, there is this season not too much. A new ground would be nice. Anyone wants to give us a ground?
Yeah. An Astro, so our games don't get called off. A nice big pitch.
Maybe Brighton and Hove, we share the same badge. What's the Amex doing on a Sunday? I'm sure we should get there.
That's true, especially in these times. Like, I'm sure it's going to be free.
Exactly. We're happy to pay the same fee as a council. We do the council.
Do you know what would be? Do you know what they have a indoor dome at Brighton and Hove Albion? I've played on it before. At Lancing,
that's mint.
Brighton, come on. But we want to see it.
Nah, Daly, I don't know about you. I think I'll let him speak.
I think in terms of like managing the players and stuff, Mike does an exceptional job, because not like he's mentioned a couple of times, we are mates with all of them. So it's sometimes you're leaving out your mates for various reasons, and sometimes you're bringing new people in and managing the difference of personalities within the squad, and then being your pals and all of that. Like, it can be really challenging. I think Mike does an exceptional job of dealing with that. Obviously, we all talk about the squad at length, but then Mike's the one that sort of goes out on a Thursday night and sends a text around and stuff. So he does a brilliant job there. But in terms of moving forward, I think the biggest thing that Mike and I were discussing was the momentum that we'd built over the last few weeks, and keeping that going, taking it into... We were due to play Woodindean on the 3rd, who we'd lost 4-1 to in the first league game of the season, and we were pretty confident we could go there and get a result. And then building up to that County Cup semi-final. Obviously, not in a position to win the league, but it's still competitive. We could still finish in the top sort of 3-4 maybe. I think that'd be a really good result for us, particularly given how we started. And it's definitely achievable as well. So if we can have a good crack at the County Cup, which is the biggest cup you can win at the level we play at, and we all love cup football, I think, more than league football. I know I personally do anyway. And then if we can just finish as high as we can in the league, building on this momentum that we've got, the formation we have and the squad we've got, then I think we're in a really good position for the rest of the year, to be honest.
I think if we do get to the final of the County Cup, I think it'll be a huge achievement compared to how we were at the beginning of the season. Obviously, in the first round, was it a 5-1 win, which ironically... Was it the 5-1 win, or was that in the league?
That was in the cup.
County Cup.
So we did win.
Yeah.
But that was obviously the game I had COVID for, so I couldn't be there, which in turn meant I couldn't leave my flat, which in turn meant I couldn't give Bayo the camera to film the game.
No, I was on holiday, mate.
Yeah, Bayo was on holiday as well.
No, because you was going to give the camera to someone. Bayo was on holiday, but then you got COVID, so you couldn't drop all the equipment to us on the Tuesday night for training.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it was impossible to film.
Yeah, I was gutting that.
Thanks, COVID.
We missed our first win.
We won a 5-1, and that would have just done so well for the comments and the the lack of momentum online, and it just so happens that it was never shown, never people. And you guys played so well. Max Stevens scored from left back.
Yeah.
But do you think, in hindsight, that was Cal's first game? Yeah, but in hindsight, do you not think maybe it was probably a good thing that game wasn't on camera, or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way where we were in regards to sort of a mental standpoint, like the boys were getting fed up of football, like because they were grafting so hard on a Tuesday night. I promise you, Daly, great coach. It'll kill anyone at training, right? There's not one guy that doesn't come off with litres of sweat on a Tuesday night. And then when you put that much effort into a Tuesday, and it just, for some games, just that little bit of luck you need sometimes just wasn't going that way, a little bit of rubber green. So people were getting fun of, and, we're at a level where you could just go drop out, but credit to the boys, they stuck in there, and that result was sort of building up, and it was coming. It was absolutely coming.
It was massive.
To have it off the camera, it almost felt like there was a pressure off their shoulders, and thought, we can win.
Yeah, because I guess like in the games before that, where we weren't doing so great, the boys would work hard during the week, go and play on the Sunday, lose, and then have to watch it, or not have to watch it, but you know what I mean. Every game we was putting up, we was getting beat, and they'd again be reminded of that. Maybe they lose a game on a Sunday and then go home and watch the video from the previous Sunday.
Yeah.
And they've just got 2 losses again in their mind. So then I guess we missed filming that game. I remember being actually away and seeing the goals come through in the group chat, and I was like, what is going on?
It was a great performance.
5 goals and I've missed it.
I can't believe it.
And then since that we just smashed it. So
I think
it's also credit to the lads. When they signed up to Garden this season, they didn't sign up to be shown all over YouTube, because obviously I came in after everyone had joined.
Yeah.
So credit to them. Obviously, it was probably going to take a few games for everyone to get used to playing on camera, because there is an added pressure. You're getting judged by thousands of people.
Yeah.
And credit to them, because they've really have shone. Like, they've all grown into it. Like, you could fight or flight, and most people have fought. So credit to them, they've all stepped up, and they really are. It's showing now. It's really showing.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is as well, because as soon as you come in, the league, we were originally supposed to be put into the Div 2 we were originally, because that's but the powers that be at the league, we won't say anything, pushed us right up to the highest division just because we had the camera, basically, and the exposure, which is harsh on the lads, but again, they took the challenge in their stride. We're learning on, this is for a lot of these lads that have only played Sundays, this is the highest division they can play. So we're almost learning on the job at the most difficult standard at the level we're playing. So credit to those boys that, it was sink or swim. We weren't happy with it between me and Daly when we got given that, but, we got to sit there and roll over. So that's credit to those boys.
Even I remember, I thought that was a bit of a shock to be put into the Premier Division.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting like a Div 1 or Div 2.
Yeah, that's what we should have been. And then I went to the AGM as well, and the amount of times that we were referenced. So the AGM, for those who don't know, is every club that's involved in Sunday football will turn up to this meeting to kick off the season. The amount of times that we were mentioned in front of everyone, talking about the YouTube thing and this or that. So then all of a sudden, every club that's coming to play against you is going to try and at the best side they possibly can, the best result they possibly can, etc. So every game is heightened from an opposition perspective as well. And just to Mike's point, I think the boys dealt with the pressure really well, because it is a new thing for someone that's not experienced any of that before, or has not even played at sort of a county level where you have 200, 300 people coming and watch your game. It is completely different. So I think everyone's grown into it and got a lot more confident in and around the camera as well. I know Mike and I both certainly have as well. Obviously, completely new to us as well, but I think everyone is taking them time to like grow into what we're trying to do.
I mean, I definitely have seen you guys grow into it, especially when I'm having to now cut interviews out because it's getting a bit too good.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll show those interviews at the end of the season, which couldn't be shown at the moment.
Oh, please.
A little bit PG-13.
Can you let me know so my mum doesn't watch?
But one thing I did want to touch on before we ended this was my injury or lack of injury. Obviously, I've told the world, told the viewers that I'm all fit, I'm all fine. which was true. It was true. Obviously, when I released the injury video, I was like, the doctor was like, it's either going to go one or two ways. Either you're going to go back, the physio's worked, you're fine, or the physio hasn't, well, physio can't work because it's a bone injury, which makes a lot of sense if I'm being honest. And that has obviously happened. So like 2 weeks ago, I played in the first match, ached, then trained on the Tuesday. The groin was exactly the same pain as before, like the 4 months. So now I'm having to have the surgery at the end of the season, but we'll see how the season goes. If it does get postponed, maybe I have to look into it earlier on. But I thought I'd just use this opportunity to explain to the viewers that I do still actually need the surgery, and I'm currently playing on the injury. The physio has definitely helped. I definitely feel sharper. Don't get me wrong, but I have to. There's a lot of game management involved, and especially from you guys. Like for example, at the quarterfinal, I played 20 minutes. It was meant to be 45, but that was, and you know what? That was the first game, lads. In that following week, I didn't hurt.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful, but I've got physio and I'm paying on very strong painkillers. So yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride.
That's credit to yourself, really.
Yeah.
You know, it must have been difficult for yourself. You know, set this team up, put it out there for the world, and it's not started as rosy it should have. So you know, it's got to be frustrating from your end, and we obviously understood that. Us three stepping away, you know, we felt bad. We were trying to do as much as we can, but to change sort of results on the pitch. But yeah, no, credit to yourself. Obviously, managing you it's not difficult, because when you come on, you obviously you know, bag 2 goals. We won't talk about being Dons. That's
I think that
the first game.
That's probably why it didn't hurt so much after the recent game, because you actually scored.
The score overrides the pain.
Oh, don't. We felt so bad for you. But
wait, you know what? The comments when in the quarterfinal when I missed the first 2, they were like, you know what, Theo, that's actually a really good block off the line. I was like, yeah, it was a really good block. Yeah, like maybe I should have taken a touch or whatnot. And then I hit the post. I'm like, nah, this is not happening again. Honestly, lads, I thought this is it. Like, I'm done for. I will never ever score. I'll never score. And then obviously I did. So yeah, it was a big. I definitely felt the pressure. It was a big relief off my shoulders. But yeah, that pretty much brings us to the present day. All we really want now is football to return, but
safely.
Alas. We don't know what is going to happen. Any final words before we sign off?
No,
thank you for the support, all those guys sticking in there. Obviously, the support is growing every day. Hopefully, there's some big things coming up for you. The results will change on the pitch, and hopefully get these boys to a cup final, we'll climb the league, and then all set. We're going to definitely attack next season. COVID.
Next season's going to be big.
Next season's going to be massive. So
100%, and I feel like we are building momentum as we speak, so we just got to carry that over into January, into 2021 and into next season. But yeah, this is the first video on the brand new channel. Extra content will be following when obviously the season returns. We'll try and get some different players on here, different guests, you know, maybe we'll get a few special guests in the future. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and from us at the board, we raise our mugs. Well, only me and Mike got the mugs.
Oi, oi.
And, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.